You see the black stripe that runs up this tree. Oh, maybe 12, 14 feet. Well, this is where water has been pouring out of the tree. So inside that tree, just above the seep, there's a reservoir of water inside there, and it probably has mud in it too. So if you could get inside the tree, you could get to the water and to the mud, and of course you can wring the water out of the mud. Sometimes this can be a convenient way to get water in the middle of the woods where there's not any lakes or stuff like that. Tree seep. See, I've got some food right there. I can see a caterpillar right inside there. It'll be one of the moths or whatever. And of course they're nice and white and completely edible. And you get up closer to the seep, you can see it's just wet. It's just wet with water coming right out of it. And there's actually a hole right there where it's pouring out of. I'm going to try to dig into it with my knife a little bit. Yeah, there's a nice sized hole right there. See? It's a nice sized hole. Knife's going right in there. I might be able to get a straw or something and stick a straw in there and drink some of the water out of it. So I'm going to try that next. And if I can't get any water out of there, I'm going to dig this caterpillar out and I'll at least have a little bite to eat. So that'll be a good thing. Well, I managed to be able to get my drinking tube to go up inside that tree, but it's just too dry. There's some mud in there, there's some water in it, but I would have to chop into it with an axe, and I think this one would be just too much work. There may be a hole in it up there at the top where I could go into, but I don't have enough tube for that, so I'm just going to make a solar still instead. And to build a solar still, what I need is a rain poncho, a piece of plastic tubing, and of course plenty of sunshine, and some green vegetation. I'll start my solar still by digging a hole in the ground, and it's got to be a fairly good sized hole, so that's going to take a few minutes. The hole doesn't have to be very big around, but it does have to be deep enough. And about an arm's length in depth is perfect. Then I got to take my green brush, just yank branches off this tree. In this case I'm using a bay tree. So that might help scent my water a little bit. And you put the green brush inside of the hole. And take a good double handful. You want to make sure you get enough in there. It's going to help sweat and create the water. So you have to have some volume of green brush. And you just put it right down in the bottom of the hole. Then I'm going to take my container. It goes in right in the center. And then the next thing that goes in is the drinking tube. And you have to position it. You have to position it so that it stays in the container. Then I laid my plastic over the hole and I put a little bit of dirt on the corners. After I put my dirt on the corners, I put my rock in the middle and drag it down into the hole, and that makes a nice cone shape for the water to collect on and pour down into my cup in the bottom. And then what you got to do is you got to seal up all the sides so that air and moisture can't pass through, and that seals it up so that your water will collect. And of course your drinking tube this sticks out the side so that when you come and check it, you don't have to tear it apart. You just siphon your water out of it, and that's a good solar still. We'll come back later and check it, and I'll actually open it up. And another method of getting water in the woods is to take a bag and bag the limb of a tree, and I'm going to show you how to do that. It's really a simple thing to do. You just crush the leaves up, and you slide the bag over the limb and tie it. In this case I used a root because I didn't have anything to tie with, so I used a root. And you just crush the leaves, and you let the bag bake the leaves in the sun, and the water will come out of it and collect, and you'll have water. So later on I'll come back and we'll check this solar still, and we'll check this solar still, and we'll see what kind of water we got. So now it's just a matter of letting the sun do its work. See, it's just been a few minutes, maybe 15-20 minutes, and there's already water drops forming inside there. The whole bag is entirely steamy. It hasn't started collecting in the corner down here where I want it to collect. This whole bottom will fill up here, and it'll just be full of water up to here after a little while. It's working great. And if you're in a deep forest like this, where you can't really get sun to make use of, you can dig around in these ferns, and in the bottom of the ferns and the roots are these little potato-like structures. So here's one right there. See, you just pull those off, and these little potatoes are absolutely ringing full of water. They're just wet, and you can drink that, and it comes from the ferns. I'm going to gather a few more of these and take them home with me. Hey, when you're thirsty, even a couple drops, like whatever's in this little root right here, is just so good. And last but not least, I can extract moisture from the air overnight by letting the dew condense on this piece of plastic. And I've lifted all the corners up off the ground, and I weighted the center down with a stone, so the water's just all gonna want to migrate into the center there. So tomorrow morning when I wake up, this should be all covered with water, and I should at least get a little bit to drink from this. Well, I got some moisture on here overnight. Not enough to drink. Also, what you can do is take a sock or something and wipe it on the wet grass and transfer the water from the grass to the sock, and it'll give you water to wring out. See the water wringing out of there? That's just all from the grass. That's all coated with water in there. Let's see what we got. Huh, there is water in there. Of course, I just knocked some sand in there opening it up. Tastes like clean water. And this one I started late yesterday, and it didn't have enough time for the sun to sit on it. I'll try another one again today. So that's 7 ways to get water from an arid environment. I'm Jack Survival. Thank you for watching.